Alright, I'm back, and this is part 12 of the horror DVD update. I'll go ahead and start this off by saying this will probably be the next to the last part. Last or next to the last, I guess we'll see how it goes. I'll go ahead and start this off with private parts. Remember Mr. Park talking about this in his rarest DVD videos. It's not really rare. He was saying it's just a pretty awesome movie that he never hears anybody talking about, and it looks pretty cool. I had seen it several times at FYE, which is where I eventually got it at for about $4.99. It's about this girl that stays at this hotel, I guess, and there's somebody there like chopping people up. Sounds pretty crazy. I guess it was made in 1972. So I'm actually about to watch it now through my DVD player, so can't wait to check that out. And this next one is one I've been looking for a while. I'm actually surprised I found it for $6.99 at Silver Platters in Seattle, and it's the double feature of The Attic and Crawl Space. I got it for Crawl Space. I've heard several people talk about that. I just finished watching it. It is very strange. It starts off on a very strange note, and it ends very weirdly too. The ending is kind of fitting, though. I won't give it away, but if you watch the movie, it's pretty fitting. Some pretty cool death scenes in it, or like the aftermath of a death. But yeah, so that was well worth it, especially for $6.99. And I haven't watched The Attic yet. It looks pretty interesting, but eventually, just like all these other ones, I'll eventually get around to watching it. This was going for quite a bit on Amazon, so I was really happy to pick this up for the price that I got it at. Next up we have Shock. I haven't watched this yet. I picked it up mainly because I vaguely remember hearing someone talk about it. It's Anchor Bay, and from reading the back, it's also known as Beyond the Door 2. We'll get to that later. It's the last film directed by Mario Bava, apparently, last feature film, so definitely looking forward to this, to see how it is. I guess I have to watch the first Beyond the Door first, which I got. Haven't shown it yet, but... And this was a blind buy, $5.99. It's The Circus of Horrors and the Theater of Death. Again, haven't seen this, so eventually I'll check it out, I guess. But it looks pretty interesting, and for $5.99 I couldn't really pass it up. And this one was one I was debating on getting for a little while. Somebody was talking about this, saying it was kind of boring. This is a sorority house massacre. It had been staring me in the face for like a month or so at FYE. I just decided to pick it up. So I'm trying to get all the Slumber Party and Sorority House Massacre movies just to have them all, I guess. Looks like a standard slasher. Haven't watched it yet, obviously, but can't wait to. Part 2 seems to be a lot harder to come by, because I think I've seen this in one other place, so it's not too rare. But anyway, next up we got Contamination. This is a blind buy for me. I picked it up for $9.99. It was actually less than that, because FYE was having that half-off sale. Yeah, I don't know anything about this. More like a sci-fi horror than anything. Hyper gory fun, it says. I hope it is pretty gory. That's one of the main reasons I got it, and I saw it was released on the Blue Underground, so looks very interesting. Unrated, made in 1980. Again, I've never heard of it. Uncut and uncensored, apparently, so can't wait to watch that. And next up is The Fly, David Cronenberg classic, and one of the rare remakes. It's actually pretty good, or very good, actually. It's on Blu-ray, so I can't wait to watch this in high def, and I got it for a decent price. $19.99 is the best price that I've actually seen it for, new, so I had to jump on that. That's why I put off buying it before, because it was so expensive. Or, I mean, it's regularly priced Blu-ray, but I just figured I'd try and find the best priced on it. Next up we have a double feature with Fear and Parents. I remember someone saying The Parents was a pretty weird movie, so I figured I'd check this out. I think it was Mr. Park, I'm not sure. But yeah, it's got Randy Quaid, and Fear has Ali Sheedy from Breakfast Club, I believe she was in. Yeah, so I haven't watched these yet, but I'm looking forward to watching Parents mostly, which is what I got it for. Unfortunately, though, I noticed it was in full screen when I bought it, but I figured I might as well pick it up because I don't know the next time I'll actually find this movie or one of these movies either together or separate again, so I figured I might as well pick it up. And this one is Prom Night 3 and Prom Night 4 for $5.99, which I got at Silver Platters. Wasn't really seeking these out because they seemed like they'd be pretty shitty from what I read about them, and just, I don't know, they just don't look like they're that great. They look really corny and cheesy. But I figured I got the first two, so I might as well just complete the set. And honestly, I like Part 2, Prom Night 2, better than Part 1. Part 2 just has a whole different feel to it than these two in the first one seem like they'll have. So, but anyway. Next up is Spider Baby. Don't know much about it, but I was reading up on it on Amazon, and I remember Mr. Parker mentioning it. It got some good reviews, so eventually I'll get around to watching this. I guess it's like a cult classic by the writer and director Jack Hill, who did the Switchblade Sisters, and Foxy Brown. That's kind of a surprise to me, but yeah, can't wait to get around to watching that. And this one, I guess, is more of a thriller than horror. Horror. I remember seeing parts of this, I think, on HBO a few years back. I'm not too sure. It's about this girl that's fallen in love with her, or that's obsessed with her teacher, and obviously the feeling isn't, returned, so she goes nuts, basically. I haven't watched this recently, so eventually, like I said, I'll get around to it, just like all the other ones. This was $3 used at Easy Street Records in Seattle. And this was a blind buy from Best Buy, Killer's Delight. Didn't know anything about it, but it was released under Code Red, and they've been releasing some really good shit lately. So really obscure shit that I never heard of that I ended up liking, and hope they actually keep putting out stuff. So can't wait to check this out. It's $9.99 at Best Buy. And then this one is one that everybody knows about, everybody seems to like. I thought it was very good. One of Peter Jackson's best films, I thought. Maybe not in his top 2, but maybe his, third or fourth best movie, I think. It's a Bad Taste special edition. It's got the little menu, double disc. Pretty gory, very funny. The nastiest scene in here is the scene where all the little alien people are together and they're spitting, that one spits up that green shit and they all drink it. That shit was pretty nasty. Yeah. But if you're a Peter Jackson fan, definitely pick this up. Somewhat hard to find. I saw actually a single disc copy of this at Half Price Bookstore. So. And then next up we have The Driller Killer. I started watching this, but I don't know, I just didn't hold my interest for very long. Or maybe I was just tired, but I kept hearing about this. People kept kind of praising it, but I don't know. It's got this, from what I saw, it's about this guy he's a painter, and he goes around killing bums, I guess. I don't know. I'll eventually have to finish watching it. And this is a special edition. I guess it's somewhat hard to come by. There's the number. And then we have The Entity. Don't know much about it. Heard some mixed things on it, but haven't watched it. Yeah, sounds very disturbing. Single mom raped in a bedroom by someone or something. So, yeah. Peaches and cream. The Entity. And then we got Hell High. Don't know much about this. Heard some things about it, just like a lot of the other movies I got, but like I said, I haven't watched it. Eventually get around to watching it. Picked it up used, $7.99. It's actually less than that, but. And then we have The Intruder, unrated director's cut. Picked this up. I was actually surprised to find this, because I figured it'd be a little bit more difficult to find, but can't wait to watch this. This is one of the slashers that was on my list, but relatively easy to find. I was pretty shocked. So I'll go ahead and cut that off, and there'll be a part 13 apparently. So peace.